All aboard. Despite his fatigue, there is an undeniable air of satisfaction about Walika. Yo, I might have to do leveling roulette or something. Look at this. I'm not that far up, in the top left. I'm not that far ahead of the quest level at the moment. From here on out, we won't stop working till the train's ready. If you have any preparations, now would be a good time to see to them. The boarding call will come before you know it. Wait for the engineers to finish working on the train.
Right, we're just about done with the modifications, but I have to stress that we cannot afford a test run.
It's fine. We understand and accept the risks. We have faith in you and your craft. I'm sure everything will go to plan. With all the hard work everyone's put in, it couldn't be otherwise.
Finished at last!
Train. Train.
Behold, the pinnacle of locomotive engineering, the Dawn Blazer.
Okay. Not bad, not bad.
Yep, she's been fitted with wooden armor and a crystal grounding rod to mitigate the effects of lightning. Naturally, we had to overhaul the engine so it could handle the extra weight.
I also had her outfitted with etheric cannons, the better to contend with enemy forces. And as they're modeled upon those used at the Crystarium, I can attest to their potency.
So, what do you reckon? Given the tight turnaround, I'd say we did a damn good job.
This is the toughest locomotive I've ever seen. Let them try and stop us in this. It's a shame we have to blow her up. Let them try and stop us in this.
Glad she's to your liking. I hate to let go of such a beautiful piece of machinery, but I know you'll give her a proper send-off for us.
At the risk of spoiling the mood, we should probably get moving.
Yep, you won't get far if you let them pummel you from the air, but you'll be safe enough once you reach the tunnel.
In that case, I will conceal the train with a spell once everyone is on board. It should last long enough for us to reach the tunnel unnoticed.
Right. So everyone, are we ready?
We've done all we can. Rest is up to you.
I won't let you down. All aboard!
Vanish! At this speed, speed, we should arrive at the dome in no time at all.
But not before we're spotted, I expect. Stay alert!
Here we go. Stand fast, everyone!
Hell yeah.
No, you don't!
They switched to firearms!
Uh-oh.
Jump!
Kaboom?
Erinville, I need you to take over for me.
Nani?
End of the line, everyone!
Get fucked. Kaboom.
That was too close. Still alive, Erinville?
Mostly.
At last, the enemy stronghold. We should hurry before they can regroup.
Let's go and find out what's inside.
Vanguard, Zeralja retreats to the dome in Yasalani, but not before laying siege to his home and slaying his own father. This foul deed cannot go unpunished, and so Wuklamat lays plans to pierce the dome and pursue him. To that end, the engineers of Zaktaral Railing refit their cerulean-powered train christened the Dawnblazer, and after avoiding fire from Zerolja's forces, successfully sent it careening into the fortress, bridging the dome with the outside world. With the path forward now open, the battle for Tuliyola begins, as you and your companions take your first bold steps into enemy territory. It'll be fine. Kool-Aid Man. Bye. Why the fuck? What happened? Are they just hitting that hard? Or did I touch her myself? Maybe these enemies just hit really hard, or maybe their item level's a bit low, I don't know. I mean, my item level's a bit low too, so my heals aren't very potent. Yeah, I mean, they're also 97. Yeah, they're using gear similar item level to me, so I just need to be extra careful. health again. Hi. Oh wait, no, it's in this time. It's in. I'm dumb. Successfully baited. This time it's the 2-hit. Okay, I need to be in situations where it's high pressure and I need to actually use my cooldowns, you know? Because otherwise I'll never learn what they do. I'll never remember that I can always full heal the tank with Benediction. If I don't practice it. the good old acceleration bombs. I moved too slow. Easy peasy. Where's the healing drops? Hiya. Don't die, don't die, don't die. Okay. It's all Daijoubu. Just me panic healing, don't worry. So scared to cast Holy. Because the tank will go from full to on his last leg so fast. White mage, be different, yo. That such a serious breach should be allowed, but it ends now. Ophidian Outrider, Xander the Snake Skinner. Okay, so he's also got the second heart device like Zeralja had. We redeem our honor with your lives. Medica 3 feels weird, man. Sounds weird, man. I like it though. I call on the soul of the serpent, the great devourer. Give me the strength to destroy our enemies. Honestly, this guy did a lot more damage during his first phase than here, but I guess it's like, once you know how to dodge this, like, this was killing everybody the first time I came here. Let's go, Kool-Aid Man. Got to give Kool-Aid Man my commendation. At least we got the weapon, it could be worse. Actually, I don't think I've seen the White Mage weapon yet, let's check it out. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah, I'll use this for a bit. It will eventually go back to being Top Kane, but for now... That was a most unexpected transformation. He was more snake than man by the end. Now to see what's inside the dome. Right, let's get moving.
What greeted us was not the home that I had left behind. There was no mistaking we had reached Yassulani, and yet it was wholly unlike my memories. The lands of my childhood had changed beyond imagining. To where had I returned? We tread on, the darkened skies above a mirror to my heart, clouded with fear and uncertainty.
How bizarre. This cannot be Yassulani, can it?
Shaktural, heritage found. We made it. Zone 5. There was no sensation of passing into a different world. This couldn't be a reflection, could it? Oh, I got the Paladin already on EU. This is Yasulani? What happened here? I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't this. I was prepared for something strange, but this... it's like another world. I don't understand. Aaronville looks upon Yasulani in disbelief. It doesn't make sense. That tower, was it always there? No, definitely not. Nor the wall over there. The material's not something we use in Tural. It's closer to what we saw at the gate to the Golden City, or those mechanical soldiers. Such a massive structure couldn't possibly have been built in so short a time. Then I'm inclined to assume we've been transported to another location. Or perhaps... well, speculation will avail us naught. We need to learn more before we can draw conclusions. Let's take a look around then. This place is unnatural in a way I've never seen before. This place is isolated by the dome, yet the skies are heavy with thunderclouds, the air oversaturated with lightning-aspected ether. I haven't seen anyone so far. I recognize the lay of the land. It's definitely Yasulani. And yet... that looks like a train station, doesn't it? That must be Yasulani Station, where the passengers disembarked. Then perhaps we'll find someone to talk to there. Let's go and investigate. I'm pretty sure this is Yasulani Station, but from the state of it, I'd swear it was abandoned years ago. I'm not sure what to make of this. We should look around a bit more. This aetherite is of Turali design. It's fallen into total disrepair, almost as if it hasn't been used in decades. The building is a rotting husk. It has clearly been many years since anyone lived here. The tracks are heavily rusted. It would seem they haven't been tended to in a long while. This is a water tower for trains, isn't it? Trains don't need to drink water, Alice say. Amidst enormous alien structures, we have more familiar sights like this station. You find the train turntable. The thick layers of rust suggest it hasn't been used in years. So did this area get yeeted into the future or something? Finished poking around, have you? Let's gather everyone then. I want you all to take a look at this. It's one of the mechanical soldiers, long since broken apparently. But I'd say its presence confirms this is indeed Zeralja's domain we're in. What about the rest of you? Did you learn anything? So all evidence suggests this is Yasulani Station. Or maybe this is the Yasulani from the reflection. Aye, and I've no doubt we're in Yasulani, but I don't understand why these buildings are so run down. Like, maybe it's the Yasulani from the reflection and the dome is projecting it into this reality. They were completed barely a year ago. For new structures to deteriorate and enormous ones to appear in a flash, if I didn't know better, I'd say time flows differently here. Is such a thing even possible? We have encountered this phenomenon before, as it so happens. Though it may be difficult to believe, our world is but one of several. In some respects they are similar to one another, but in others wholly different. We call them reflections. Simply put, the rift between dimensions causes time to flow at a different pace in each world. While hours pass in one, years may have come and gone in another. But if this is Yasulani, then we should still be in the source. The flow of time should be synchronized. I'm not sure I follow all this talk of reflections and dimensions, but if Aaronville says this is Yasulani, then it must be. Your village is a little further along, right? Aaronville. Oh, yes, it's a short distance to the northwest. Let's head there next, then. Rather than talk theory, it's always better to confirm things firsthand. May I be of assistance? It's still functioning? It doesn't seem to be hostile, at least. Perhaps we can ask it some questions. Can you tell us where we are? Unable to confirm credentials. Please present citizen identification. Unable to confirm credentials. Confirm. Confirm. Seems it's broken after all. Too strange by half. Let's leave it be and get going. Are those lightning rods? Would you accompany me for a moment? There's something I wish to investigate. Look there, the lightning appears to be drawn to those pole-shaped structures over yonder. The design suggests there's some manner of lightning rod. Let's go and take a closer look. This material appears to be the same as that used in the mechanical soldiers and warships. On closer inspection, it appears to be fine. On closer inspection, it appears to bear fine etchings. Rather reminiscent of arcane runes, these. I suspect they're not merely decorative. I would posit it's used to harness lightning as a source of energy. Quite impressive technology. I'll share this observation with Ishtola. For her blessing, the dome doesn't appear to interfere with link pearls. Thanks for accompanying me. Let's head to the village and find the others. No sign of anyone. This is Erinville's village. Let's stay vigilant. Oh, Erinville. Is this a village? This is... What in the world?
My home. It's in ruins. But why? What happened here? And where is everyone?
I had a look in a few of the other houses, but they had clearly been abandoned.
Damn it all. None of this makes sense.
Excuse me? Are you looking for someone?
Hello.
I apologize for giving you a fright. However, I did have reason to keep to the shadows. Sorolja has told me a great deal about you.
Sorolja?
Greetings, and welcome to the realm of Alexandria. I am Sphene, the Queen of Reason.
I'm just trying to place the music.
Queen of Reason?
If you are the Queen of Reason, is there perhaps a...
Yes, if you mean to ask if there is a King of Resolve. Zorulja holds that title, and together do we reign.
Is it the music from Alexandria Castle in FF9?
Then you're both behind the attack on Tuliyola.
And I doubt you're here to offer us a warm reception.
No, you have it all wrong. I am not come to fight. Zorulja rules alongside me, but that is a matter of expedience. In truth, we are at odds, he and I. It is at considerable risk to myself and my people that I come before you to beg your aid.
our aid. I'll admit I cannot imagine King Zorolja is keen to share and share alike. But if what you say is true, you're still the queen.
Indeed. But I was once the sole ruler of Alexandria. Until one day, he appeared, bent on conquest. In my weakness, I feared his power. So I persuaded him to forego violence and strike a bargain. I would remain queen, and he would receive technology that would empower him to achieve even loftier ambitions, along with the knowledge to use it. A gamble, to be sure, but if it might spare my people...
If I may, the dome surrounding these lands was erected but recently. How is it he was able to not only invade, but instate a new system of leadership in a mere matter of days?
I've never heard of your realm. And this place is, or at least was, Yasolani. The house I grew up in is still here. But 3 years ago, that tower and these strange contrivances weren't. Nor was our village in ruins. Where did you come from? And what happened to the people who lived here? You must know!
I realize how confusing this all must be. Truth be told, I don't fully understand it myself. What I can say is that one day, people from your Tuliolol suddenly appeared here in Alexandria. Or perhaps it was we who found ourselves in Tuliolol. Until but recently, we were completely unaware of events taking place beyond the barriers surrounding our realm.
Does this not remind you of the Crystal Tower? How after the 8th Umbral Calamity, we devised a means to transport the Spire across time and space from the source unto the First. Granted, this is on a much larger scale, if that is indeed what has happened. Not only the people and structures, but also the surrounding environment. Regardless, the people of Lakeland perceived the arrival of the Crystal Tower much as the Queen describes her own experience. Sudden and inexplicable.
Well then, you appear to have a better grasp of our circumstances than we do. Indeed, more than I dared hope. In which case, a closer examination of the effects of this phenomenon may afford us more insights. Allow me to take you to the outskirts. A number of the Shitona live there as well. Perhaps your acquaintances are among them.
Hold on. If we accept, there's no guarantee we're not walking into a trap.
But if we're to defeat Zorolja, we need to understand how he grew so strong. Besides...
You're right.
Queen Sphene, before we go, Your Majesty, I have to ask, did you really have nothing to do with the attack on Tuliolol?
I mean, I did see her there. In one of the cutscenes.
Noble Wook Lamart, shall we dispense with the formalities? I'll not deny the soldiers and airships that attacked your people are products of Alexandria. But it was Zorolja, not we, who fashioned them into weapons of war and laid siege to Tuliolol.
So he alone is to blame.
I may not have prosecuted this war, but I nevertheless bear responsibility for it.
Perhaps. I know next to nothing about you, let alone what you've been through. So by all means, show us around. I think we'll learn a lot from meeting your people.
There's something written on the back of her dress. The bottom line is definitely Alexandria, but I can't read the rest of it. Many souls, one heart, Alexandria. And apparently at the bottom of her dress it says Eternal Service with some other letters, and then her necklace says Queen's Fiend, Alexandros 14.
Wonderful! If you would follow me.
I take it there will be trouble if Sir Jah hears of this. Isn't it a little odd for the Queen to be walking around on her lonesome?
Is that concern or suspicion?
Yes.
If things should take a turn for the worse, might I call upon your aid? I jest, of course, but you do strike me as the most capable here.
Well, I mean, a sphere is a gemstone just like garnet, right? That's the reference. She's Queen of Alexandria. I think it goes without saying, but we're not going to trust her just like that, right? Any way you look at it, a mysterious girl who appears out of nowhere, proclaiming herself a queen is suspicious. A real welcome. Alice is inclined to keep a close eye on the queen. Well, having established that we should be wary, we could use more information. So let's head to this place, the outskirts, and see what we can learn. Perhaps about Speen as well. It's a relief to see the people here are well, at least. A most unusual farm, but the produce appears normal enough. Have you ever seen such strange contraptions? I wonder what this one is used for. Those brick buildings, I've seen their light before, though I cannot remember where. The innovations of Alexandria are nothing short of extraordinary. I trust you have similar farming facilities in Tural. They're completely different from ours. I've got no idea what all those machines do. We settled on this approach after some trial and error. The Turali have their own methods of farming, which they wanted to continue employing. But the environment makes it challenging. There's too much rain and not enough light. Thankfully, the use of electrope has allowed us to fortify the buildings here, as well as provide what nature cannot. Electro what? Electropy. It's a material we use for myriad devices and applications. A topic for another time, perhaps. If you would follow me, we're nearly to the outskirts. So it definitely seems like a slice of their reflection has been plopped into ours. Which begs the question, is a slice of our dimension plopped into theirs?
Here we are. Though you'll doubtless find much of what you see in Alexandria strange, the traditional agriculture practiced in this village at least should be familiar.
Queen's Fiend? What business brings her here, I wonder?
The Queen has come!
You look well, Paquine. And Catogne, I see you've already taken to your new position.
When she introduced herself as queen, I was expecting someone colder. Honestly, she reminds me of you, Lamachi.
Me?
It's only natural for a ruler to love her people. And I should like to know them as best I can, even the most trifling details.
The more you come to know them, the more you grow to love them. Who they are and what they've built.
That's it. Beautifully put.
And it would appear that she is well loved in turn.
Your Majesty, you honor us with your presence. And who are these fine people?
Tuliolol's vow of resolve Wuk-Lamat and her companions. They come from beyond the barrier, but you needn't worry. They are good people and are to be treated as my honored guests.
The rumors of a link to the outside are true, then. Wuk-Lamat is still so young. Where are my manners? I am Papone, a leader of sorts of the people living out here.
Papone? That is a Tonawautan ring to it.
Right you are. I take it you hail from this region as well? Teshpiani, perhaps?
Yes, I do. I don't suppose you know a woman by the name of Kafkiwa?
Kafkiwa? I'm afraid I'm not sure if I've ever met someone with that name.
Oh. Mother isn't here. But it's a relief to know at least some of the people of Yasulani are alive and well.
Your mother, you say? Now that you mention it, I do see the resemblance.
You know my mother?
I do. Yes.
Then tell me, please, where is she?
I cannot say. Not here, but I promise I will in due time.
I have a question, Pepone. Do you recall what happened the day the dome first appeared?
The barrier? Well, I remember fixing a shelf that had collapsed after a terrible earthquake. Then the ground began to tremble. There was a brilliant flash of light, And then... Forgive me, my recollection of it all is rather poor.
You needn't push yourself, Popone. After 30 years, no one could blame you for not remembering.
30 years? As in 30 years in the past?
Absurd though it may sound, there is no doubt in my mind the events that led to the joining of our lands occurred 30 years ago. Which is not to say I understand why our perceptions of the intervening time are so radically different. We only just became aware of the discrepancy when Zoralja's military base was completed, and we were at last able to venture beyond the barrier.
I believed you long dead. To have the chance to kill you myself is an unforeseen blessing.
"30 years. Little wonder Zoralja assumed our father had already passed away.
It's not unlike how time passes differently in the First and the Source. The fluctuating space of the rift between them disrupting temporal equivalence. Perhaps the same holds true here, and time flowed faster within the dome.
Meaning this is a piece of another reflection? Do you suppose time is still passing faster in here? You'll tell us the answer either way.
I cannot say for certain, but I strongly suspect that to be the case. And based on the Queen's account, this encampment may have come to serve as a physical bridge between the two planes, after which the dome was forced into the Source's temporal flow.
If we're to be certain of anything, we need more information. Sveen, would it be all right if we had a look around and spoke with the townspeople?
By all means.
Time to see what we can see of Alexandria, then.
And its people. I may yet find familiar faces among the survivors from Yasolani.
Even if I don't understand the half of it, I would learn more of this place before we confront Zoralja.
Perhaps you'd care to see how we make our living. Though we have always prided ourselves on the use of traditional Tonawatan farming methods, the use of electro-fueled technologies has led to countless agricultural innovations.
I would join you as well.
Ma'am, please, you needn't trouble yourself.
It's no trouble at all. And I promise not to cause any manner of distraction.
Reassuring words, or they would be had I not heard them countless times before. Very well. But do be careful.
Of course. I shall proceed with the utmost care. Now then, if you two would follow me, we can begin the tour.
I can't say that I trust her yet, but I trust that her affection for these people is genuine. And that's enough for me.
Electrope has done much to improve the efficiency of their farming, but hasn't replaced everything. The people wanted to preserve their old way of life, and we did not want to force ours upon them. He went to such lengths so that our culture could coexist, even going so far as to learn our tongue. I'm sure everyone appreciated that. Communication was thankfully not an issue, for the Turali tongue is surprisingly similar to Alexandrian. Of course, there are words and phrases for which there is no equivalent, but those can be taught with minimal effort. Through mutual respect, understanding, and patience, we Alexandrians and Turali have learned a great deal from one another. And I'm sure there is much you wish to learn as well. So please, if you have questions, do not hesitate to ask. Her outfit is really cool. Very shiny. I don't see the... Oh, okay, there it is. There's the other text right there. So, back text, bottom of dress text, and then she should have necklace text. Yeah, it's right there on her chest plate. Touring farmlands with the queen of another nation is not how I expected to spend my day. A day in the life. Sphene is eager to show you around. Rather than bore you with lengthy explanations, let us head back to the farm we passed earlier. Yupia's Halo, it is called. We can speak with one of the farmers when we arrive. I guess we're off to Yupia's Halo. Here we are. I'm sure you'll learn a great deal from the workers here. What do you suppose they keep inside this building? Allow me to introduce you to Mahusa, one of the most experienced farmhands in all of Alexandria. She's well versed in myriad farming techniques. Indeed, the wealth of knowledge she has shared with the other farmers is what has allowed this place to flourish. Queen Sphene, to what do I owe this sudden shower of praise? My apologies for the interruption. I am come with guests from beyond the barrier. They wish to learn more of Alexandria, and so I invited them to see how our crops are grown. I do hope that's all right. So the rumors of visitors from the outside were true. What manner of hosts would we be to deny them a look around? And I gather your Majesty also intended to check on things here. You know me too well, Mahusa. I thought to seize this opportunity to see how the farmers fare, and perhaps pepper them with a few questions, though I do so enjoy observing and taking part in the work too. It would appear we have her permission, so please walk the grounds to your heart's content. You go on ahead. I'll keep Sphene company. Don't misunderstand. I'm not the suspicious type. But given our positions, it would make sense for us to go around together, wouldn't you say? A fair point, but be sure not to let me out of your sight. I shall remain under Wuklamat's watchful eye. Pray, come find us after you've seen your fill and spoken with the other farmhands. My duties here are quite varied despite being merely a farmer. We all have to do our part if we're to prosper. Elias. Light levels appear to be fine. As for the power source... you wish to know about my job? I tend to the fields, mostly. Watering the crops, keeping the soil fertile, and so on. It admittedly took some time until I fully understood how best to carry out my duties. I also manage the lamps we use in the fields. We do our best to keep everything up to code, but should they ever start to malfunction, it's up to me to fix them. The land and sky being what they are, ensuring a rich harvest makes for constant work. But honestly, I enjoy how involved the process is. Both my parents being Alexandrian, I didn't grow up knowing much of anything about farming. Every day is an opportunity to learn and grow. Oh, an unfamiliar face. I gather this is your first time on site then. Well, this here's the storehouse, or rather the entrance. The real storehouse is underground, much more spacious, and equipped with a temperature regulation system to keep the harvest from spoiling. Since the entrance is so small, it's much easier to prevent wild beasts from wandering inside, which also makes it a viable facility for breeding and raising livestock. We've even got a few beds down there for emergencies. My parents often complain about how Alexandrian technology and Electrope complicate our lives, but it's just a matter of learning how things work. Take my job, for instance. I'm presently overseeing the storage of harvested crops. They'll be taken up to the tower for processing, and from there find their way to every dining table in Alexandria. The work is hard, I'll not deny, but I take great satisfaction in what we do. They're saying that you and yours are visitors from beyond the barrier. That true? So it is, which means we're connected to the outside world again. Not that I have a desire to leave, mind you. I'm quite content with life here in Alexandria. But setting that aside, you're here to observe our work, right? As you can see, I'm in charge of livestock. Here at Upia's Halo, we produce not only fruits and vegetables, but also meat, poultry, and eggs. Tending the animals is an absolute joy. But I have to be careful not to grow attached. It's always a little sad when they're shipped off, but a job is a job. Well, I need to get back to it, but it was nice talking to you. Please give my regards to the Queen. It's a shame Kona's not here to see all these bizarre contraptions. I see. Don't be too hard on yourself. Anyone would have been hard-pressed to deal with such a thing. Oh, welcome back. My apologies for failing to notice your return. I gather you've had your fill of speaking with the farmers. Then let us return to Mahusa. Well, what are your impressions of the farm? Everything was surprisingly normal. I was amazed that everyone loves their work. Electrope is quite impressive. So it was the Electrope that caught your eye. That's only natural, I suppose, if you come from a place without it. Still, you only seem mildly impressed. This leads me to believe you have experience with even more marvelous technology. I'd love to hear your tales one day. And what did you think of our little tour, Lamati? What did you call me? Was that inappropriate? My apologies. I heard the others call you by that name, and I thought... No, it's fine. As you said before, we've no need for titles and formalities. As for my thoughts, I was very impressed. That machines could be used to overcome so harsh an environment is amazing. I've never seen anything like it. The feeling is understandable. Indeed, many still find the machinery behind me baffling. It's a system that controls the distribution of water for the fields and livestock. It's been acting up lately, though. Acting up, you say? You needn't worry, my queen. It happens fairly often. But simply, it's taken in water that had a strong lightning charge. We think some creatures have become charged up with the energy, and they're releasing it into the river we use as a source. The system would return to normal if the creatures were dealt with, but I'm reluctant to beg it of the army. We could take care of it if you'd like. That is most gracious of you to offer, but it is much too dangerous. Oh, it's no trouble for the vow of resolve of Tuliolal. Regardless of how the relationship between our nations may develop, if there are people in need, I want to help. Simple as that. Rain is even stronger than I am. It shouldn't take us long at all. Very well, I gratefully accept, but please take all care. This ought to go even faster if you and I search for lightning-charged fiends on our own. Good hunting! I do not doubt your strength, but please be careful. Oh, I got the second Tetra. Let's go. That's gonna make life so much easier. This guy. Ah, you're both alright, thank goodness. You really needn't have worried so much. We barely broke a sweat dealing with the fiends. They're all gone now. Of course I was worried. You're my dear guests. But thank you. We truly appreciate this. Indeed. With this, we won't have to ask Zeralja's machines for help. He's been making a concerted effort to bolster his forces, sparing but a fraction for the people's protection. He thinks nothing of our safety, unlike Queen's Fiend. That's enough, Mahusa. If you have grievances, I will hear them later. But to speak of the king now... No, she's right. He's never been one to look after his people. Anyway, thanks for letting us tour the farm. The folk here are delightful, and it was a pleasure to meet them. You couldn't have favored us with more uplifting words. My people are my pride and joy. And you never fail to let us know, nor how much you care. Of course, you're my precious family, all of you. You seem a good sort, Sphene. That I'll admit. But you'll forgive me if I'm not ready to lower my guard for the enemy queen just yet. Ha, for you to be called that, I dread to imagine what villainy your majesty has committed. Come now, this is no laughing matter. A ruler is responsible for the welfare of countless lives, and one wrong decision can lead to untold suffering. Failure is unconscionable. Now, I believe we are done with the farm. Let's move on, shall we? Zeralja, you bastard. Sabine would take you back to the outskirts. Perhaps we should head back to the outskirts. I dare say your friends will also have returned by now. My thanks again for dealing with the fiends. Come and visit us anytime. Do you hear that?
What's happening over there?
It's nearly time.
I'm glad you could make it.
Are you with us?
Queen's fiends come to see you.
We're here, Namika. Everything is going to be all right. What's the matter, dear?
It can't be. That's the bangle I gave to Namika.
You know her?
Of course I know her. She was like a mother to me.
I see. She was always willing to lend a kindly ear to others, but rarely did she ever speak of herself.
Is it really you?
She must have arrived shortly before the barrier manifested. For us, it was perhaps days, but for her...
Namika, it's me! Wuklamat!
I'm afraid her time with us is nearly at an end.
Has she no more soul cells?
She always used hers sparingly, but at her age, it wouldn't make a difference.
Ma'am, the ushers have arrived.
Thank you, Namika, for your many years of friendship. Take comfort in the knowledge that this is not the end. Be not afraid. Your memory will live on, in us.
Living on in memory. The giants share a similar belief.
Wait! Where are you taking her?
Worry not. She is being escorted to a medical facility in the tower. There we will ease her burden. I had hoped to make arrangements for her sooner, but she wished to remain here for as long as possible. I could not bring myself to refuse her.
Is there any way I might stay with her for a little while longer? We may not share the same blood, but she was my mother. Please.
Let us give them some time alone.
She didn't speak, but I'm grateful that I could be with her at the end. Thank you.
It's not the end.
Hmm?
Oh, nothing. I was just thinking that we have much to discuss. Where shall we begin?
With what we can be reasonably certain of, perhaps. Between what we have witnessed and the testimony of Alexandria's inhabitants, it's safe to say that two distinct lands have indeed become one. What's more, having met Namika, there is no denying the divergence in the passage of time. Taken together, these phenomena strongly suggest that some manner of cross-rift displacement has occurred. Specifically, the displacement of Alexandria from another reflection to the source.
It does seem the most likely explanation.
What perplexes me, however, is the scale of said displacement. It far exceeds what could conceivably be achieved with a Void Gate, or even with the Crystal Tower. In essence, we are dealing with a localized instance of dimensional compression. The Ascians would no doubt liken it to a rejoining. Which invites the question, how was such a feat accomplished?
I wish that I had an answer for you, but this talk of reflections and dimensions is well beyond my understanding. I can only tell you that we lived peacefully under the barrier's protection for many, many years, until the day that peace was suddenly broken.
If I may clarify, the barrier predates Alexandria's displacement.
By several hundred years, yes. To when the continent we call home was ravaged by a devastating cataclysm. The barrier was erected to isolate us from the surrounding land's noxious influence.
I see. And it was only later that it was whisked away, along with its contents, by means unknown.
In other words, Sphene's as lost as the rest of us, right? The Alexandrians didn't mean to end up in Tural.
I'm just thinking about, so when Zeralja opened the Golden Gate right before, someone spoke to him from the other side of the gate, and they offered him this power in exchange for something, and we don't know what the something is. Unless the something was him being king to her queen, basically. No, that doesn't really make sense. I'm just trying to think about whether or not Sphene is telling the truth right now or not. Or if she's being deceptive. I mean, I imagine she's not being deceptive, but... So they've been in this area way longer than this area has been Like, they've been in Tural for 30 years, but have been in this area that is now in Tural for hundreds of years. But when Zeralja went through the gate, he wound up in contact with them somehow. I don't know. I think I'm missing a piece of the puzzle still.
But of course, our next stop ought to be Everkeep. That tower over yonder. Once you have been registered as my guests, you will have access to Solution 9 and its residential district, where you will doubtless gain invaluable insight into Alexandria's state of affairs. Unfortunately, I cannot take you directly to where Zeralja resides.
That you'd let us in it all goes a long way toward proving you're not content to let Zeralja do as he pleases. But we're not talking about a simple difference of opinion here. I've come to avenge my father. And to do so, I intend to take Zeralja's life. Are you willing to stand by and allow Alexandria's king to be slain?
A fair question. Permit me to answer it thus. My people come first. Their welfare is paramount. I will do everything in my power to keep them from harm. It is a ruler's duty. Now, I am off to register you at Everkeep. It may take some time, but you shall find the entrance open to you in due course. Oh, and ere I forget, your mother, Kafkiwa, you might try the Thunder Yards to the east.
The Thunder Yards? Is that where she is?
I am afraid I can say no more than that. Make for the Thunder Yards, and all will be made clear.
It's not as if we have other pressing business. Not until we can get into this Everkeep, anyway. Thank you for earlier. And for being a friend to Namika these past 30 years. It means a lot to me.
Namika? I'm sorry, but I don't know who you mean.
Whoa. So when she went for medical treatment, Spina's deleting them out of people's memories?
What? We were just with her. If this is some sort of a joke, it isn't funny.
Well, that immediately raises the question of how else she is controlling them and influencing them, because now, for all we know, they could be speaking so highly of her because of the influence that these devices on their heads have over them.
I don't mean to give offense, but I honestly have no idea who you are talking about. I'm sorry.
But it's also possible that they are entirely innocent. She did say she'd do anything to protect her people, so it might just be that she sees it as protecting them from the pain of having lost someone. What was it that she shared in common with the Yaktoi? Because whereas the Yaktoi are carving stones and preserving themselves as memories. If they're wiping the memory of people, then it's basically the exact opposite philosophy, right? People that die or go away or whatever are not being remembered.
How can you not know who she is? You're in charge here. She was under your care.
Then in all likelihood, my memories of her have been stored in the cloud. Any person seemingly forgotten without reason is probably there, in the cloud. Oh, I really must be getting back to work. If you'll excuse me.
Well, we don't really know what it means when someone is stored in the cloud. But he seems to be aware of the phenomenon, so that makes it a little bit less likely to be Giga evil, I think. This is very unsettling. We'll see how it is with other people. As far as I could tell, Peponi genuinely had no recollection of Namika. I've never seen nor heard of anything like this before. Alright, what does a brother have to do to get up into Solution 9? What's going on? How could Peponi suddenly forget about Namika? It's as if he never knew her. Could the same thing have happened to others as well, I wonder? There's only one way to find out. Let's make inquiries about Namika in the area. We can reconvene afterwards at the Aetheryte. Can I get even one Namika rememberer, please? An old woman named Namika? I'm afraid I don't know that person. I'm sorry I couldn't be of help. It certainly presents as sinister, but I also feel like the writers want us to interpret it as sinister, and that it is important to leave room for explanation and reason. She's the queen of reason, after all. What's that? Do I know a Namika? It could also have been in line with Namika's wishes. Like, we couldn't communicate with her, right? Because she's just so on in years. Never met anyone by that name, and I've worked at the outskirts for a good while now. If she'd spent time here, I would remember. But the fact that if she spent time here, I'd remember. We need to know more about this cloud. Because saying if she spent time here, I'd remember sounds like people would have an expectation. I do recall caring for someone until recently, and you say that it was a woman named Namika. Well, I can't say for certain it was her. I wouldn't worry. While I can't say for certain. I'm sure she's just been taken up to the cloud. Okay. So they don't remember her, but they do understand why they don't remember her. They don't seem to be upset about it. We need to know more about the cloud. And we need to find out about Darrenville's mum. So it was the same for everyone. Not a single person remembers Namika. It's as if the memory of her has been purged from their minds. While such a thing might be done with magic, to alter the memories of so many at once would be a tremendous undertaking. We would have felt the surge of ether corresponding to the act. too, and I sensed none in that moment. Neither did I, but I did notice something else. Right before Peponi seemingly forgot, a light in the device on his head began to blink. Could there be a connection? Someone also said something about soul cells. But who might we ask about this? If we continued making such inquiries, I expect we would only cause confusion. So I wonder if the balls that the soldiers were sucking out of the people in Tuliyola were the soul cells. Indeed. If we can't readily solve the mystery about Namika, perhaps we should search for Kafkua instead. It's being said to try the Thunder Yards. It should be in this direction. Look at this cutie. Why so mad, huh? Impossible. Another kind of mechanical soldier? It looks dangerous. We'd better destroy it. Ooh-ah! Very cute. I want it as minion. Should we give chase? I think it understood our words. It might be worth asking it some questions. Aaronville, are you alright? You look like you've seen a ghost. It's nothing. I'm fine. Well, it went off in the direction we're headed anyway, so let's try to track it down. Very interesting. YOLO. I mean, I think that's fair. There's no reason not to think that she's incredibly sus. I think they want us to think she's sus and that it's a misdirect. It's faster than it looks. I do not see it. I think that she is truly... I think she's basically the Wuklumat of her world. No sign of it over here. And that even though she makes a mistake later, she does it for reasons she believes are in the best interest of her subjects. That voice, could it be? Why so angry? You found it? To the northeast? Then it must be bound for the mines. Come on then. It could well be a trap, so let's not rush in too quickly. Fantasy XI bats? Okay. I think it's safe to assume it went into the mines. An old coal mine. It appears to have long since been abandoned, like so many other places. The stones in those crates, could it be turquoise? So it went in here? I heard faint voices coming from inside. So it's not alone, but we're still going in, of course. This may be a trap. Be ready for a fight, everyone. Earth and sky. Damn, this music's so good. It would appear no one has worked these tunnels in quite some time. I'm not worried. We've had to improvise countless times before, after all. This is the Final Fantasy XI bat? Oh, those are some big peepers. A device made with electrope. It seems to be the only one here. Let's do this before I forget about it and walk away. It's a big cave. This tunnel just keeps going. I can hear them. Several people up ahead. I can't make out their conversation with the echoing. Let's keep going. Stay on your guard.
What is this?
Aaronville!
Uh-oh.
A trap?
Oh, making funny faces at me, eh?
It really is you! Huh?
Huh?
Who?
You what, mate?
I just have to get a look at you in the light. And I can still hardly believe my eyes. But it is you, my darling Olympia!
My darling, what now?
Oh, it's so good to see you, my fussy little bun bun. What are you doing here? What brings you all this way?
Well, this is gonna get embarrassing fast for Aaronville if she's going to call him my fussy little bun bun. Fussy little bun bun?
Why the long face? Aren't you happy to see me after all this time?
I know that laugh anywhere. Mother?
Wait. Since when was your mother a weird floating thing?
It could also be a deception.
And what have we here? Say, aren't you Galoo Jaja's kitten? I knew I recognized that adorable fuzzy face. Eleanor. whenever you invited him over to play. You remember me, I hope?
I can't say that I do, but you know my father?
Appearances notwithstanding, it would seem this is my mother, Kafkiwa.
I'm sorry?
Oh, but this won't do. Come in, come in! Friends of my LNSP are always welcome.
All I ask is a little forewarning, but no.
Just when I thought I was starting to get a handle on this place. How are things still getting stranger?
Fair question. At this point, I doubt anything could possibly surprise me. Aaronville's mother is a floating machine, right? That makes about as much sense as everything else thus far. The Alligans had machines that could be controlled remotely. Is she using something similar to communicate with us? I can't say I understand what's going on, but at least Kafkiwa is safe. Oh, hello. As far as I can tell, this is indeed my mother. I can think of few people in the world quite so spirited. But as to what's happened, we'll need to ask her. Gone and forgotten, Aaronville is conflicted by this long-fated reunion. Let's hear what she has to say. It's so wonderful to meet you all. And the students of Baldessian. It's been a while since I heard that name. Dare I ask the reason for your appearance? Oh, this? It's just a body that I control remotely. I use this for our operations. We're members of a resistance organization. Oblivion, we call ourselves, and our goal is to thwart Zoralja's ambition for conquest. As the leader, it's prudent that I remain where I can't be easily found. I see, whimsical appearances notwithstanding, yours is a serious cause. Right you are, though truth be told, Oblivion was founded for an altogether different purpose. And that is? As I expect you've already noticed, everything you see within this dome, the buildings, the people, the very earth beneath our feet, is a fusion of two worlds. Stopping such a fusion was Oblivion's original mission. And does that mean you know who or what is responsible for it? I'm afraid not. This was a long time ago, and our mission statement has become more of a legend that's passed down to members. By the time we joined, our sole objective was stopping Zoralja. But we failed to do that, and now he's taken his army outside the dome. None of you wear those strange devices on your heads. Does that have something to do with your work? You mean this? It's a regulator, the pinnacle of electrope technology, and that we don't wear it is indeed related to our operations. What exactly does it do? Allow me to explain. Regulators have two primary functions. The first, as the name suggests, is the regulation of the wearer's reserve of souls. Should they die, the regulator expends a soul to bring them back to life. Reserve? You mean people walk around carrying spare souls? They do. Souls are packaged in cells, and they can be used to replenish the life force that is lost due to sudden death, such as in accidents. They do nothing for those who die of old age, though. Distribution of soul cells is based on one's work evaluation, to encourage exemplary performance when fulfilling their duties. Souls is a common resource, and payment for services rendered. The void-sent practice of consuming others for their ether comes to mind. And similarly, I expect that the act comes with some risk. Zero. Bring back Zero. Actually, don't bring her back. I just remembered that she became a paladin at the end. Gross. Right? Am I misremembering? She became a paladin at the end of her storyline? Does that ring a bell? Doesn't it dilute your sense of self? Wouldn't the consciousness of others corrupt your own? Yeah, way to ruin a character, Square Enix, making her a paladin. Hiya. That is prevented through memory management, the process in which regulators also play a role. Paladin is fine, but don't take the Reaper character, the really cool Reaper character, and turn her into a paladin. Memory management? Then the reason everyone has forgotten Namika's existence. The regulators are constantly recording the memories of their wearer, so if they should suddenly die, their memories can be refreshed as part of the restoration process. This is how they preserve one's identity and sense of self. However, the regulators are also triggered when someone else dies. Reason being is that regulators forcibly extract memories relating to the deceased from anyone wearing one. Why would they do such a thing? It's a kindness bestowed upon the people by Everkeep's core system, so that no one has to suffer the pain of loss. So this is what is meant by their memories being in the cloud. Indeed, all memories of the deceased are wiped from the minds of the people and archived in the system. It's a frightening function of the regulators, and an integral step in soul cell production. Rip Bozo. You see, when a person dies of natural causes, their soul is temporarily housed within the regulator. It's then delivered to a facility where memories are separated from the soul. Yep, there's the balls that we saw the robots sucking out. Which means that the people killed in Tuliolal might still be savable, if we can get their soul cells. The result is a fresh soul cell, free of impurities, ready for distribution and consumption. Unless they've been purified into fresh soul cells that nothing can be recovered from, in which case never mind. Meanwhile, the memories are stored in the core system, to be remembered forever. Okay, so they're still kind of etched in stone, it's just that other people can't see the stone? And this is why people are happy here. On its surface, it's similar to the Yakoi philosophy. but I see nothing noble or comforting in it. Well, it doesn't seem so terrible to me personally. All comes down to what you're used to, I suppose. Like the barrier encasing Alexandria, this system was created to overcome the calamity that transformed the world hundreds of years ago. Amidst the mounting death toll, scientists used Electrope to devise a means to save what lives they could so that the nation could endure. I understand the people of Alexandria did what they believed was best to save their people. I just find it hard to believe that Turali would also accept this way of living. It came as a shock to us as well. In fact, a great many were opposed to it. Which is why the use of regulators was never compulsory. The people have always been free to go without them if they so wish. Okay, I mean, assuming that everything we're being told is true, it doesn't sound as sinister as it was presented. Sphene didn't strike me as the sort of ruler to impose her will on others. Ah, so you've already met. She's the one who suggested we come to the Thunderyards in the first place. She also said she wants to help us stop Zoral Ja. Awfully kind of her to point you in my direction, and to speak so candidly as well. Whatever her motives, she has given the people a choice. Live with the risk of true death, or the security of the regulators. Everything that lives must someday die. That is the natural order of things. Quite right. But however you feel about them, it would be easier to understand what the regulators are capable of if you saw it for yourself. I know just the person to show you, and as luck would have it, they should be starting work right about now. Who are we going to see exactly? Come with me and you'll find out. What if Zero is a female Cecil? I mean, the similarities are definitely there. But I even think that Cecil was cooler before he became a paladin. Nostalgia. Firearms make the most sense for people who don't have combat training like us. That's why we salvage as many as we can from the mechanical soldiers and convert them for our use. Take care not to get struck by lightning out there. One fellow reckoned you could dodge them by jumping back the instant there's a flash, but that's crazy if you ask me. Well, there's your Final Fantasy X reference, Bobby. Nostalgia is my twin sister. Like most people, we both used to wear regulators, but well, let's just say a lot happened. Yeah, that's a nice little reference to find in there. We're ready to hide in a heartbeat. Don't know if there's much else. I'm getting hit on number 200. To alter the memories of the populace with such precision is no small feat. What does she intend to show us? I'm sorry, but I just can't accept the idea of using souls as a resource. We're to see how the regulators work, but how? So those regulators are to blame for everyone forgetting Namika, for forgetting what a wonderful person she was. Everyone here? Good. It is the responsibility of the Thunderyard's hunters to fell any fiends found wandering the area. We're to meet an acquaintance of mine, Starika, one of these hunters. Starika. Oh. Given the opportunity, I should very much like to study Electrope on behalf of the students. While I am not blind to the potential benefits of these regulators, the risks inherent in giving another party the power to alter your memories cannot be overstated. Never mind the ethical considerations of using souls in such a fashion. I think Rahatia makes some good points, probably the best points I've heard against this tech. Judging by its name, I take it this facility is for gathering lightning energy. What do you think is in this box? I'm guessing food. Could be. Could be food. Could be a lot of other things, but it could be food. Let's get this over with. Spirico will show you what life can be like wearing a regulator. Kapkiwa, what are you doing here? And with so many friends? Apologies for the interruption, but I was hoping they might observe you at work. Hunting, you mean? That's fine, I guess. Hold on. I assumed they were wearing special regulators like Queen's Fiend's crown, but they aren't wearing anything at all. It's much too dangerous to be here without one. What if they're struck by lightning, or attacked by beasts? I can assure you that they're all quite capable of looking after themselves. If anything should go amiss, I will take full responsibility. Well, don't say I didn't warn you. Danger aside, there isn't really much to see. Kafkiwa said you're a hunter. But wouldn't it be easier for those mechanical soldiers to guard this place? It would, if not for the fact they're weak to lightning. The Thunderyard being what it is, they've been ordered to steer clear. Some good they are, eh? But these facilities are vital to the upkeeping of Alexandria's infrastructure, so it falls to hunters like me to deal with any fiends. Given the danger, we're well compensated for our work. It's a perfect profession for anyone looking to build up savings. The special selection of souls for hunters isn't terrible either. I brought this lot here to see this danger you speak of, if it's not too much trouble to ask. Ah, of course, in which case it'd be a shame to waste my efforts on just any old beast. You all can handle yourselves in a fight, right? If you cause a ruckus slaying what critters you see nearby, there's a chance you'll draw out something worthy of a demonstration. I'm not sure I understand, but I suppose we should each slay what we can. I do like slaying. I'm afraid I must leave the fighting to you. My fussy little Bun was never any good at fighting, and this body of mine isn't suited to it either. We leave this work in your capable hands. Aw, fussy little Bun. We pat the Aaronville. Yeah, but I think doggos are really good at going back to sleep. They fall asleep and wake up all day. Charged Bolt Hound. Oh, round 2. Yeah, maybe they're scared that the doggo would, you know, like destroy something or get into something it shouldn't. Some dogs are a little too adventurous for their own good. This one will do nicely. We'll help you. It's fine, really. I faced worse. Just watch. Is she gonna do a die? I don't like the looks of this. Let us help. Oh no. Look out. Arg. Well, she seems like she's not very good at fighting at all. I mean, she might do a I'm not dead. 12 preserve. But still, she needs healing. Maybe someone else should be doing the fighting. That's not her. Taking a little nappy nap on the ground. Re-raise enjoyer. That was embarrassing. The bastard caught me off guard. Are you mad? Seriously, let us help. I told you not to worry. This will only take a moment. Now she can go Super Saiyan 2 because... Yeah, get fucked. But I wonder, is dying related to the going Super Saiyan part? Because Zeral Jao only did it once he died as well. Or maybe her 2 minutes just came up. And when she first poured it, she didn't have 2 minutes. Just like Zeral Jao. Come on, let's get out of here. That's also a function of the regulator? They go into vengeance mode after they revive. I think I understand now how Zeral Jao was able to return from the dead and defeat Papa, but I'm not sure what we saw at the end there. As soon as the regulator turned red, it was as if you were possessed. Your movements became beast-like. Don't tell me, you empowered yourself with the soul of a beast? I'm reminded of the Serpentine soldier we encountered at Vanguard who did the same. Oh, big true Grahatia. So you've crossed paths with one of the king's elite. Such a form can only be achieved from gorging yourself on souls. We could do the same in theory, but it's incredibly dangerous. Besides, it's not as if they'd allow hunters to carry that many souls to begin with. Well, I should be getting back to work. Take care. And there you have it. Regulators can be loaded with two kinds of souls, those of peoples and those of beasts. The souls of people can be used to grant the user preternatural strength. Naturally, they can also be used to ensure no one suffers an untimely death. And what about the souls of beasts? They work much in the same fashion, imbuing you the strength of the chosen animal. If, for example, you use the soul of a wolf, you would grow more agile and feral, as you saw with Strika. Using several of the same type at once, however, would result in physical changes. Your teeth might become fangs, your nails claws. Too many, and you'll become more beast than man. Changing one's form through the souls of other beings, it becomes more and more reminiscent of Void Scent. Yet unlike the Void, where the cycle of death and rebirth is simply broken, souls here are forcibly taken before they might reach the ethereal sea. Different means to achieve similar ends. A cycle to which all within the dome are bound. This is wrong. This is all wrong. It is indeed hard to accept being so far removed from our own beliefs. Perhaps more shocking is that the technology to achieve all this was developed hundreds of years ago. The civilizations in the reflections are surprising indeed. Interesting. Vane speaks of lived experiences that suggest she's far older than she appears. Considering the power of these regulators, perhaps it's not so far-fetched. But she said that they don't stop death from age, right? I've never seen it for myself, but it's said that if a beast's soul is potent enough, a single soul is enough to induce a monstrous transformation. When Emmett Selk spoke of surprising civilizations in other reflections, I wonder if he had Alexandria in mind. Having seen the beauty of the ethereal sea firsthand, I simply can't accept what they've done here in Alexandria. I understand this is part of their culture, but it is no less disconcerting. While we all have our thoughts on souls, for now the important thing is we know what power Zoral Ja has at his disposal. It is one thing to separate corporeal ether from incorporeal ether, but to strip memories from the soul entirely is unprecedented technology. This is no longer only Tuliola's concern. With his newfound power, Zoral Ja has become a real threat to the entire world. Indeed, he has to be stopped, no matter the cost. The worth of a soul. Embracing Oblivion. Kafkiwa regards you with concerned curiosity. I trust you've gained an insight into the use of souls in Alexandria. It's shocking, I know. I was overwhelmed myself at first. I expect you'll need some time to digest it all, but for now, let's head back to Earth and Sky. At this rate, there's something I want to discuss with everyone. Let's take a moment before we head into the tunnel. I still barely know literally nothing at all about the Viper, other than what we looked at before the expansion came out. The worth of a soul. 'Tis well that we could see firsthand how regulators are used, to draw upon even the souls of fiends. I shudder to imagine how powerful Zoral Ja could become. What does Lamati wish to discuss, I wonder? I understand the argument that we should keep an open mind, if this practice is integral to their culture, but every fiber of my being rails against it. To think that everyone has lived here for 30 years, long enough to become accustomed to the way of life. I'm sorry for delaying us, but I have some thoughts I need to share. In both technology and values, it's plain there's a wide gulf between Tuliolal and Alexandria. And while Zoral Ja knows everything about us, we know hardly anything about what he's become. Indeed, we haven't even seen what lies within that enormous tower, Everkeep. So here I'd like to make a proposal. That is, we work with Kafkiwa and her people. We need to learn as much as we can about the enemy. The quickest way would be to join hands with Oblivion. We've only just met them, I know, and we shouldn't be too quick to trust. But the fact remains that they share our desire to stop Zoral Ja. Sphene too claims to be at odds with the King of Resolve. May I ask why you would cooperate with Oblivion instead? It's simple, really. Their leader is Erenville's mother. It seems their leader is Erenville's mother. But the only way we've interfaced with her is through this robot. And her main credibility comes from Erenville being 100% convinced that it is indeed his mother. Which I think should be pretty reliable, but I don't think we should just take it for granted. Meanwhile, whatever Sphene may feel, she's a ruler of this nation. There's a greater risk in working with her, and less reason to take her at her word. I do think, though, that it's the safer option between Sphene and, Gafkiwa. A fair point, and knowing Zoral Ja, we must assume that his arrangement with Sphene was not made without some consideration. All I know is that it would be heartening to have allies in this strange realm. I think everyone would agree that any help we could get would be welcome. Hold on. There's no guarantee that it's actually my mother behind the machine. Okay, so Erenville is galaxy braining the situation. But I will also say that Sphene also pointed us in the machine's direction, so there's also that to consider. Like, aligning with the machine is probably what Sphene intends. Without seeing her in the flesh, we can't rule out the possibility of a ploy. If it turns out to be a trap, we endanger not only ourselves, but everyone in Tuliolo. As you say, we have no proof that it really is Kafkiwa, but I make my proposal in full awareness of this. Whether we're going to war or striving for peace, we need to learn as much as we can. Otherwise, we can't hope to do anything meaningful. As it stands, we know too little about this realm. We need to remedy that. We need to study the enemy, and when the time comes, strike down Zoral Ja for good and all. What's more, I trust you, Erenville. You've always had great instincts, honed from your time training under your mother. What if I'm wrong? What if sentiment is clouding my judgment? If it's a trap, then we'll deal with it when it's sprung. That's always the way of it with you. Fine, if you're set on this, then I'll say no more. Then it's settled. Let's head inside and secure ourselves some new allies. Gaining. I agree with Wuklamat. It's a gamble regardless of whether or not we choose to work with the people here, and more knowledge is better than less. While I'm all for dealing with Zoral Ja, we need to consider how our actions may affect ordinary Alexandrians. They're not the enemy, after all. The Vow of Resolve is possessed of conviction and flexibility both. If the tales are true, she learned much in the course of the Rite of Succession. With the resources at their disposal, I'm hopeful that Kafkiwa and her people will make great allies. I'm unaccustomed to seeing her make decisions like a ruler. Better that than her former vacillating self, though. The wildlife can be very dangerous out there. You need to take care if you don't wear a regulator. Oh, hello again. Hello? You understand how regulators work now, I trust. It's one of those things that's best seen in action. Kafkiwa, there's something I need to tell you and your people. We came here for no other reason than to strike down Zoral Ja. But I thought he was your brother. Do you really mean to kill your own kin? My kin invaded our nation and murdered our people. As Vow of Resolve, it falls to me to bring him to account. I'm prepared to do what I must, and I won't hesitate when the time comes. Like us, you and yours oppose Zoral Ja. In light of this, I propose that we work together to stop him once and for all. I realize that this is sudden, that it's a gamble to trust somebody you've only just met. But I would trust in the conviction of anyone who shares my goal, so fight with me, I beg you. As you say, our goals align, and I don't doubt your resolve in the least. If you hadn't proposed working together, I would have done so instead. Truth be told, it's been tough going at it alone. While we've gathered ample intelligence, we don't have the strength to take decisive action. Besides, how could we not trust you? My only son is with you, my fussy little bun-bun. He's all the reason I need. Aww. Fussy little bun-bun. Then it's decided. Here's to a fruitful collaboration. Thank you, Kafkiwa, everyone. Together we'll achieve great things, I'm sure of it. But let's not waste any time. We've been wondering about Zeralja's whereabouts. Is there a palace inside that tower? After a fashion, the king resides on the uppermost level, but while Queen Sphene has a penchant for going out in public, he seldom shows himself. What's more, his movements are highly classified. Not even his commanders are privy to that information. If anyone knows where he is at any given time, it could only be the Queen. Even if we don't know his whereabouts, Zeralja will eventually march on Tuliolal again. That's when we can go after him. The drawback is we'd have to wait for the invasion to happen. Innocents would be put in harm's way. There's also the possibility that he'll leave everything to his minions and not command the army in person. No, he'll take the field. What makes you so certain? My brother has always yearned to surpass our father. That's why he attacked Tuliolal. After waiting for 30 years, the first thing he wanted to do was demonstrate his newfound strength. But killing Papa didn't satisfy him, so now he's bent on proving himself stronger than me and Kona, who bested him in the right of succession. He challenged me to strike him down. He wants a duel to show everyone that he's superior to the Dawn Servant, and he won't let his minions deprive him of the pleasure. Then why hasn't he appeared and given you your chance? Surely he's aware of our presence here. At that, I can only guess. Perhaps he wants to dazzle us with his wondrous realm. But if he won't deign to appear, then we'll force him to do so. Even as we gather intelligence, we make no move to attack him, show absolutely no interest in a confrontation. Knowing him, he'll tire of waiting and turn his attention to Kona instead. He'll attack Tuliolal again, like he said he would. I see. If you believe this the best approach, then we have no objections. Any campaign against Tuliolal requires that Zeralja lead his forces through Vanguard. We'll have lookouts keep an eye on it day and night. Such a strategy is certainly viable. If we're proceeding with it, though, we should warn those outside. Indeed, they'll need time to prepare their defenses. I should be glad to coordinate our efforts. I'm already in regular contact with Ishtola, and we'll make sure to keep our comrades apprised of developments. You can leave Vanguard to us. We'll send word at the first sign of movement. It seems we have a plan. While we wait for Zeralja to move, you do well to prepare for battle, and it begins with familiarizing yourselves with the technology that empowers him. To that end, I'll show you to Oblivion's main headquarters. Oh? I thought this place was it. You'll be impressed to know that we're located right inside that tower, in the residential district of Solution 9. Hiding a tree in the forest, as it were. The only question is how to get you through the checkpoint. Ah, about that. Sphene said that she'd make it so we could enter without this issue. she did. Curious. She's not supposed to have such authority over the sentries. If I recall correctly, her words were that she would register us as guests. I see. Perhaps we're in the clear then. When you're ready, come and meet me at the tower entrance. Before you head out, give us a moment to introduce ourselves properly, eh? After all, names are good to know when working together. Is it just me, or are Erinville and Kafkiwa complete opposites in personality? Between making new friends and entering the tower, I can't help but feel a little excited. The intelligence that Kafkiwa and her people possess will be very useful to our efforts. If this isn't their main headquarters, I can't imagine what the actual place is like. It's eerie hearing my mother's voice come out from that peculiar machine. Nice to meet you. If Kafkiwa trusts you, then so do we. While Oblivion has operatives all over, we're the main crew here. I'm Geode, the leader of this hideout, and the dependable young twins behind me are Nostalgia and Wayakwa. I'm Nostalgia, it's a pleasure to meet you. My sister and I were born and raised inside the barrier. We've been with Oblivion for 3 years, and our main duties are surveillance and provisioning. Twins, eh? That explains the resemblance. Wayakwa is a Tonawatan name, unless I'm mistaken. That's right, our mother is Tuliolan, and our father is Alexandrian. They wanted to honor both cultures. They're beautiful names. Thank you. Though I have no memories of my mother, I like to think I carry a part of her with me. So, what made you decide to join Oblivion? We wanted to avenge our father. Ambrose was his name, and years ago, he was taken away after a scuffle with a soldier over a disagreement. It was a minor incident, so at first we clung to the hope that he'd be released. But when months went by with no word from or about him, we made the decision to remove our regulators. We had already lost the memories of our mother. We didn't want to lose those of our father as well. They've all forgotten about him now. Everyone who had known him. That bastard. Even here, he thinks nothing of his own people. Sometime later, we were approached by a member of Oblivion. Hoping to get justice for our father, we joined the Order. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to darken the mood. No, I appreciate you sharing this. Together, we'll avenge your father. Thank you. Something tells me you have what it takes. You introduce yourself too. Go on. It's pretty much the same story for me. And while mine is a Tonawatan name, I haven't the faintest how things are outside the barrier. It's my dream to go and see it with my own eyes. Our mother's homeland. Once peace is restored, you must come and visit. The wilds are beautiful, the food delicious, and everyone's so nice. You'll love it. And that's us here. You'll meet others in the back room. That's our headquarters. Some of them are a little eccentric, but they have good hearts, all. Ah, Eleneshpia, one last thing. It isn't exactly my place to say this, but thank you for seeking out Kafkiwa. She talks about you so much. It's clear how important you are to her. That's all. Be good to your mother while you still can, eh? Well, we'll let you go now. Feel free to use this hideout as you like. Meanwhile, in Everkeep. Uh-oh.
You've been consulting with Wook Lamont. No matter. I do not know what you are scheming. But when your realm lay on the brink, you were powerless. You had no choice but to turn to me. Whatever sentiment you may feel for her, it is my power you require. Is it not?
Okay, so it seems like there's clearly something about her arrangement with Zoral Ja that Sphene isn't letting on. He didn't just come there and threaten if she didn't share power. There's more to it.
Perhaps. And yet, knowing the love that Wook Lamont bears for her people, how she regards them all as kin.
I don't think she's necessarily sus, but she's definitely concealing something.
I cannot help but wish to spare her the same pain I have suffered. What's more, her friends possess new knowledge. Were we to work together, we might find another path. I know you're loath to consider it, but is there no hope for peace with Tuliolo? What we've already done may be unforgivable, but it needn't continue. You needn't kill your brother and sister.
What we've already done. I wonder if she says that because there's something more sinister, or if she's just taking her share of responsibility for the fact that he was able to go kill... I always forget their different names, but Wook Lamont's father, the previous Dawn servant.
I slew my only flesh and blood. Yet you attempt to sway me with an appeal to family. The memory of my father's final moments still fills me with disappointment. Age came for him before I did. For long years, I sought to prove the miracle. And weak as he was, defeating him achieved nothing. To kill them is my only recourse. Wook Lamont and Kona, who bested him as he was in his prime.
They are still your siblings, even if not by blood. That such bonds should mean so little to you.
I am bound to no one. Serve none save myself. I made that clear when first you spoke to me in the Golden City. Remember, I could easily kill your beloved family. If you would protect them, cast aside any foolish notions. Your wisdom and abilities are valuable insofar as our goals align. So think well before you act, Queen of Reason. Wook Lamont, if you are father's worthy successor, then you will find your way to me. But should you fall short, I will lay waste to Tuliolal.
What now?
I also think it's kind of weird that he's leaving this room for Lamont to come find him. Like, it seems so bluntly like it's just there so that the plot isn't... He killed the Dawn Servant and then killed everyone else in Tuliolal, and then killed all the adventurers. It's not the most clever writing, in my opinion, that particular part of it. Nostalgia and Wayakwi remind me of Alphino and myself. Similar, but so very different. We should chat sometime. Trade twin tales. It takes no small amount of courage to oppose Zoralja and his army. The members of Oblivion must be driven indeed. They say the sky outside the barrier is truly beautiful. I'd love to see it one day. My sister is something of an introvert, so I take it on myself to watch over her. By the same token, though, she's extremely cautious and observant. That makes her great at reconnaissance. By the way, you'll want to watch yourselves around the mechanical soldiers roaming outside. They're malfunctioning and may attack unprovoked. I noticed. At long last, we're entering the tower. Not that I'm excited or anything, not unduly. 12 help her if she's mentioned anything embarrassing. Solution 9. Wuklamat is eager to head to Everkeep. Right, Kafkiwa is waiting. Let's head to the tower. Here we go. We're ready to hide in a heartbeat. Visitor detected. Verifying access rights. Error. No data found. You must be accompanied by registered personnel to proceed. Ah, there you are. If Queen Sphene has registered you as guests, you should be able to march right in. And if she hasn't, then you may have a swarm of Zoralja's minions to deal with. Nothing for it but to see if Sphene has betrayed us, eh? Thank you for your diligent service, friends. My companions and I would like to pass if you'd be so kind. Outrunner Guide Unit identified. Registration number verified. 6 accompanying civilians identified. Verifying credentials. Credentials verified. Welcome, guests of Queen Sphene. Well, it's nice that she managed to register us in the time between when I talked to that 2 minutes ago and now. What a relief. There you have it. It seems the Queen was true to her word. Follow me, everyone. Solution 9 awaits.
Everkeep, a tower of electrope piercing a perpetual shroud of storm clouds. Occupying the 9th level of this 12-tiered structure is a residential district called Solution 9. In so naming their home, what hopes did its founders harbor for it? And did it prove the answer they sought?
Spectacular, isn't it? are more districts throughout the tower, including industrial ones, but Solution 9 is the largest.
Just being here makes my head spin.
Perfectly natural reaction. A city of shimmering electro, replete with strange technologies that cater to every conceivable need. We never dreamed of the life back home in Tuliolo. Now, while I go and explain the situation to those in the back room, why not take a moment to explore? I believe lived experiences are far more educational than dry explanations. And you want to know more about Sphene and Zeralja's dominion, do you not?
You had me at the Explorer. We do need to better understand who and what we're dealing with here.
It's no less than our duty.
Just to confirm, while we have been allowed inside, are we also permitted to roam?
Absolutely. As Sphene's registered guest, you'll find you're exempt from the sentry scrutiny. The elevator to the uppermost level. I wouldn't go near that. But other areas should be fine provided you act like you belong.
All right then, we'll show ourselves around.
Yes. Familiarizing ourselves with the technology here will help us prepare for the battles to come.
Try not to enjoy yourselves too much, or you're liable to attract attention.
Once you've explored to your satisfaction, come to the entrance to True View in the eastern sector.
Well, it is absolutely
The way from there
stunning and
is
remarkable zone.
So I'll send someone to guide you.
Understood. We'll see you later.
Though I must needs express my disappointment still that we cannot mount here. Especially with how big it is.
I shall speak with the residents. Perhaps one of them will recognize the earring.
What's with this place? How can this all be the inside of a tower?
So, what aren't you telling me? Where are you?
That I can't reveal yet. Precautions, you understand. Just know that I'm safe. But come, tell me about your adventurer friend. You seem to have a great deal of faith in him. You must have been through a lot together.
You might say that. For instance, we found the entrance to the Golden City.
Wait, what? You did? Elnashpir, why didn't you mention this sooner?
You want to explore together? It's not that I'm scared or anything. Everything is just so different from home is all.
Towers inside a tower. I see it, but I still can't believe it. For now, I say we proceed straight ahead. If we feel like we're getting lost, we can always turn around and go back the way we came. Nice that you can attune to the Ethernets without attuning to the main Etherite. I wasn't sure if it would let me. Crossroads already? This place is too much. I have no idea where I should go. Right, I've made up my mind. Let's head to that building there.
I was worried you might have had trouble at the checkpoint, but I see everything went according to plan.
Well, that's thanks to you.
Now, I know you've scarcely arrived, but I have a request to make of you.
Oh, a request, you say?
Yes, an important one. I'll say it plain. I want you to make peace with Zeralja.
What are you smoking, Sphene?
What? I thought you said you weren't on his side.
We have come no closer to seeing eye to eye, nor do I condone his methods. Be that as it may, I don't want you to fight him. I don't want you to regret a decision made in anger and haste. Unequipped with regulators as you are, the risk is too great.
I appreciate your concern, but you asked the impossible. Zeralja murdered our father. His minions slaughtered our countrymen. He will never renounce his war. As vow of resolve, it falls to me to stop him. I know you love your people too, and so you must understand how I feel. Why I cannot, will not back down.
I do understand. All too well. Let me say only this, then. Zeralja will use any means to win. If you would protect your people, return to them at once and prepare. Prepare as best you can. It may ring hollow coming from the queen of an enemy nation. But, unlike me, you still have the power to determine your own fate.
You really are a curious one. Look, you needn't worry for us. We have dependable comrades holding the fort in Tulihiola. They'll keep everyone safe, so we can devote our attention to affairs here.
Please.
Never fear, I'll be there alongside her, or I won't yield on this either. I won't yield on this either.
So you have comrades on whom you can rely. I envy you.
You know, we'd like to learn more about you.
About me?
To be frank, we're still not sure whether or not you're trustworthy. So, if you have a moment, would you show us around the district? That way, we can get to know you better.
You're asking me, the Queen, to show you around? Oh, but I jest. I'm flattered that you've taken an interest in me. Very well, I shall be your guide. You're my guests, after all, and teaching you about my realm would be a pleasure in and of itself. If you like, I can introduce you to my citizens, too. I consider them family, as you do yours.
By all means, we're in your capable hands.
That you are. This will be an enjoyable and enlightening tour, I promise.
With Sveen as our guide, we needn't fear getting lost. The Queen's Tour. Sveen stands ready to take you on a tour of Solution 9. Let's begin then, shall we? I must say I'm really grateful. This place is so vast and confusing, I didn't even know where to begin. While the district may seem daunting in size and structure, all the key facilities are situated near ley nodes, which you call aetherites. Remember this and you won't lose your way. Now then, seeing as it is right here, I will show you the Nexus arcade first. Please follow me. This complex is home to all manner of shops. From food and daily necessities to technological conveniences, you can find most everything here. Everkeep's interior is vast, as you've observed. This arcade makes it possible for people to acquire what they need in one centralized location. Amazing. How do you get to the upper levels? I don't see stairs. Do you see the glowing pattern over yonder? That is an automatic conveyor. Such contraptions are found throughout Everkeep, allowing us to swiftly move between faraway places. That will spare us some walking. Are they also made from that strange metal? What's it? Yes, the conveyors are powered by electrope. As a matter of fact, the ore is integrated into just about everything in Everkeep, even the floors and walls. By etching arcane circuits upon it, electrope can be used to convert lightning energy to those of other elements. In so doing, we can achieve various effects. For instance, a conversion to wind produces flotation, which is required for the propulsion of our flying vehicles. A conversion to fire, meanwhile, produces light and heat, and it is employed in devices such as street lamps and heaters. There are even self-heating cups that keep your drink warm. Can you make a drink cold if you convert to ice instead? You certainly can. Our vending machines do just that. What's more, multiple energies can also be combined to produce some clever effects. For instance, by manipulating the air with wind while projecting light with lightning, it is possible to alter one's appearance. It's almost scary what you can do with electrope. If such a wondrous material existed in our world, I imagine everyone would be fighting over it. Uh-oh. About that. I wonder, did her and Zeralja do a genocide so that they could have complete control over the electrope supply? This shop over here, what does it sell? Ah yes, let's go and take a look. That was the most foreshadowingest foreshadowing to ever foreshadow. I dare say you will find it interesting. So I wonder she offered Zeralja power. Then he did her bidding to destroy all the competition so that she could provide this utopia for her people. Ride this bad boy for a while, or is it that? Designed and built in Alexandria, this single-rider flying vehicle uses electrope to convert lightning to wind energy, which it expels to produce levitation and propulsion. While air-wheelers are extensively employed by the military, the A9 is the civilian model and does not come fitted with armaments. Ethernet, Ethernet, Ethernet. Why would crafting hate you? Are you getting unlucky? What's all this? Well, they appear to be beverages, Wuklamat. This shop sells food. Those are the items on the counter. That's food? I can't imagine what they taste like. I thought you might be surprised. Your countrymen were too in the beginning. Come, you must sample something. Choose one and I will purchase it. Welcome, friends. How lucky you are for Her Majesty to treat you. The 5 items on display are our most popular. I recommend one of them if this is your first time. Select an item that interests you. So we've got slab of pink hexagons, liquid-filled pouch, long rectangular bar, hexagon patterned bag, and black and yellow tin. I think on you I selected the black and yellow tin. Let's get the pink hexagons. The synthetic fruit pellets, they're our best approximation of the taste and texture of grape. I've never tried the real fruit, so I can't say how faithful they are, but there's no denying their popularity. Well, let's learn about the others real fast. Ah, the revivifying tonic. I take it you're thirsty. The flavor is a sublime blend of sweet and salty, and it stays fresh for over 10 years thanks to this special container. Keen on the perfect metal bar, are you? It's all the nutrients your body needs packed into a single foodstuff. Perfect meal bar, not metal. The flavor is formulated to never taste dull, and one bar will satisfy you for a whole day. Many folks prefer this to taking multiple meals. Ah yes, the salad paste. Ew. This is designed for those who are concerned about their figure. With its blend of 9 varieties of vegetables, it'll help your efforts to slim down. I even like salad, but paste? Fashion models swear by it, and youths can't get enough of the stuff either. This here is cultivated steak. It's not quite the same as the real thing they produce in the outskirts, but it's a sight more affordable. This particular product is known as Gold Label, and it's a delicious hybrid of beef and chicken grown at the plant on the 4th level. Grapes. Pink hexagons. While they're all very tempting, I'm going to have the steak. I'm absolutely starving. Thank you for your custom. This being Her Majesty's treat, it's bound to taste all the better. Say, would you mind sampling your selections here and now? It's been a long time since we had newcomers, and I'd love to see your reactions. This is a great chance to learn about Alexandrian culture, Rain. Let's dig in. Alright, here I go. Following Wuklamat's lead, you sample your selection. Amazing! I've never had any meat like this before. Ooh. It's tender like chicken, but flavorsome like ranik, and the spices give it just the right amount of kick. I could eat this every day. Don't mind them, they're just happy to see your honest reaction. And how about you? It's fantastic, it's pretty good, it's interesting. It's pretty good. I like grapes. Even hexagon-shaped ones. It's always a pleasure. Such a pleasure. My thanks for humoring me. This does take me back. Though it was chaotic when the people of Tuliyola first arrived, we endeavored to learn about one another and embraced our differences. Right. What about you, Sphene? Aren't you having something to eat too? She doesn't eat. I appreciate the thought, but I'm fine for now, thank you. Alright, but what's your favorite food, if you don't mind me asking? My favorite food? Why do you wish to know this? It's people. Because I want to get to know you better. Why else? The more you know someone, the more you grow fond of them. That's what my old man believed, and my experiences have led me to believe the same. My favorite food. Is it such a difficult question? I'm sorry, it's just, when I think of those who labor to bring us the food, I find I can't settle on one thing. I thought I was indecisive, but you're something else. Indecisive? Perhaps I am, but you didn't need to laugh about it. Bah ha ha ha. To be fair, maybe she is just considering that it would be hurtful to some people if she expressed a favorite. My favorite food? That is a question I may never be able to answer. Or maybe she's eating babies, like it could be one or the other, right? I don't know about you, but I'm satisfied. Let's keep moving. Very well. Next I was thinking of showing you the residential sector, but it's in part, so I can tend to personal matters. It's a visitation, to be precise, and I believe it will be educational for you as well. Would the two of you mind accompanying me? Not at all. Wonderful. Let me know when you have seen enough here, and we'll make our way. I was just wondering what kind of homes they have here. Ready? Then let's head to the residential sector. It lies to the southwest. As we walk, I would be glad to tell you about any places of interest that we come upon. That meat was so good. I have to get everyone at home to try it. This is Mosaic, a cafe. Here you can buy drinks to enjoy while you relax. I see. In Tuliyola, there's a similar establishment called Chevalier of Tie. That's seashell in the local tongue. Is there a story behind the name Mosaic? There is. In our continent, the races are named for stones. There's the Hewn, who resembles some Tonawata, the tall and graceful Eldite, and the diminutive and affable Milala. When they all gather here, they appear as a mosaic of colors. Thus did the founder choose to name the cafe. That's nice. If they served tacos here, it'd be perfect. Tacos? A traditional Turali dish, and one of my favorite foods. You must try it one day. Oh, yes, definitely. She definitely doesn't eat. Why is she so weird about food? We'll make it happen once we've restored peace to Tuliyola. Right, let's continue on. Let's go for some tacos at Chevalier of Tie, the three of us. And here we are. These buildings are where our citizens live. They're massive, each one is bigger than the palace. They have to be, for just about all Alexandrians have apartments here. Lest you wonder, I'm here to visit some people. Their apartment is in the building on the left here at Residential Radius 914. Residential Radius? That's right. Come, the doors open automatically. Okay, let's just triple check if I attuned. I did not attune. I want to go live in Solution 9. Hey Sphene, can anyone live in this place? Naturally. In fact, many of your countrymen make their homes here. No matter your origin or race, occupation, or regulator usage, all Alexandrian citizens are eligible for an apartment. This includes those you met who work in the outskirts. You've taken care of everyone for 30 years. I'm truly grateful. This is a lobby, a common area for residents. I see, and what does that machine there do? Ah, the concierge. They look after the residents. If you require assistance or have questions, they would be glad to assist. Is that so? I have no shortage of questions, but I'll direct them at you for now. By all means, you may consider me your personal concierge. You really get the sense that Sphene loves her nation, don't you? My brain is starting to turn into spaghetti. This is the place. A mother and son live here. Yo, I want this jacket. Hello, Isadora. Your Majesty, you came. I have friends with me today. Is that all right? Of course. Friends of the Queen are friends of ours. Please, make yourselves at home. How's Milos been? There's been no change, but the symptoms are thankfully mild today. Hello, Milos. Have you missed me? My son was born with Levin sickness, a severe etheric imbalance towards lightning. As a result, he suffers from paralysis. He cannot walk and struggles to speak. I wonder if their use of lightning ether is causing that. For a blessing, he still has his hearing, and even on bad days he can communicate with his eyes. I see. Sphene visits often, does she? She does. Milos simply adores her. He sometimes even manages a smile when she's here. What of yourself, Isadora? How are you holding up? You needn't worry about me, Your Majesty. You always make time for us, and we have everything we need. I'm glad to hear that, but you mustn't strain yourself, understood? There is nothing you can do for him? Perhaps a treatment with souls, or... Unfortunately, no. While souls can revive those who have met with an accident, they cannot reverse the effects of old age and illness. Truth be told, many children are born like Milos. The illness has existed for generations, but we've been unable to find a cure. The cause is quite clear though, the excess lightning in the environment. It's no coincidence the number of cases has risen dramatically these past 30 years. Okay, so they're definitely making people sick with their use of the lightning ether for all of this technology. But I guess they consider it worth it. It's all my fault. What was that? I'm sorry, Isadora, but I must be going. I promise to make it a proper visit next time, with treats to share. There's no need to apologize, Your Majesty. If it weren't for you, Milos and I wouldn't still be here. Thank you, Queen's Fiend. Hey, he said something. He did a talkie. It's my pleasure, Milos. I'll be back soon, so be a good boy. For your mother and for me. I want all the glamours from... what's it called? Vanguard? Yeah. I've got a lot of them on EU. With almost none, but I got the cane today. Like, literally nothing else for healers dropped. But every time I get the character to 97, I'm spamming that dungeon. My thanks for accompanying me on the visit. The illness is a part of life in Alexandria, and I thought that you should know about it. We'll find a cure one day, mark my words. We'll make it so unfortunate children like Milos smile again. To think that they had such a problem.